So my hope is that we can continue the very successful rollout of the vaccine and we will start to see international tourists come back towards the end of the year, and hopefully we will have the international borders open by the start of next year fully, so we can really start welcoming back those international tourists, the international students that drive international tourism as well. So that's the timeline. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with the pandemic, you can't have a perfect crystal ball, so obviously we'll continue to monitor and observe. We'll see how the vaccine rollout is taking place across the globe, but my hope is we would start to see international tourists back towards the end of this year, and hopefully we're in a place to really welcome back international tourists at the beginning of next year.
Why didn't the government include Darwin and Adelaide in the initial subsidy scandal? Only Adelaide yesterday.
So we had 13 locations. What we did was we announced 10 of them to really get some hype and activity going and really get people engaged. But it was always, and if you look at the media release that went out yesterday morning, it was always 13 destinations, and that's why Darwin and Adelaide were added. And as I've said, these aren't set in stone. We're going to continue to work with the aviation sector, and if there are other destinations we need to add, we will do that. This is about giving people the confidence to travel. Because if people have the confidence to travel, we know the want and the will's there, and we know that they will travel. There's a real pent-up demand amongst Australians at the moment to travel. So this is about stimulating that demand, giving people confidence and supporting wonderful regions right across this nation, such as the Gold Coast here.
Are you going to be forced to add more destinations?
This isn't about being forced to add anything. This is about supporting our tourism industry. We want a Team Australia approach to this, and can I say, it's wonderful that the airlines have backed it. One of the airlines today has announced their own discount flights ahead of what we're doing to get people moving again. This is all about Team Australia, everyone putting their shoulder to the wheel, and we want the states and territory governments to do it again. Wouldn't it be wonderful that they were positive in reacting to this and said, yeah, we're going to back this in, we're going to put voucher schemes in place, we're going to do our own discount ticketing, we're going to really back and support this. Because if we had that and a really Team Australia approach, everyone being positive, I can tell you people will be going across Australia like we've never seen before, and that's wonderful for our tourism sector.
What's the process of adding locations to the list? Is it being done ad hoc, or that's certainly?
No, so what we've said we'll do is we're going to work with the aviation sector. They've identified key routes that need stimulating, that really need that demand, and once we see that demand back in full, we're going to look at other destinations. So this is all about working together. This is all about continuing to consult with the aviation sector. It's about consulting with the tourism industry to make sure that we're doing everything we can to stimulate demand. But it might be that the aviation sector says, well, we're going to continue to provide discount tickets ourselves on particular routes. So that means that we will look at other routes. So this is all about making sure we're all working together, supporting each other, and as I've said, especially if we can get a Team Australia approach to this, with everyone being incredibly positive about this $1.2 billion announcement, I think we're going to have Australians travelling everywhere to explore their own backyard, because you will not find a better backyard anywhere in the world than what we've got here in Australia.
And why are cities like Melbourne and Sydney not included in the package?
So once again, we worked with the aviation sector to design which routes we wanted to support. When it comes to Melbourne and Sydney in particular, if you have a look, there are already very good discounting going on those routes, and we're starting to see demand really pick up on those routes. So this was all done in consultation, and once again, the New South Wales and Victorian state governments could really back this in by offering vouchers for accommodation in Melbourne and Sydney, making sure that they're promoting the wonderful offerings that they've got. We did that through Tourism Australia last week, so the federal government has already stepped in and played part of its role. We launched a very successful Visit Our Capital Cities campaign through Tourism Australia. So we're doing our bit. We want the states and territories to do their bit, and we're sure then people will be heading back to our capital cities like they'll be heading back to here in the Gold Coast.